Food waste and its environmental impact and the extent of food insecurity are global issues, and there are many organisations across the world working to reconcile these challenges. Here in Birmingham, the Active Wellbeing Society, a cooperative that works with communities to reduce inequalities, have set up a surplus food hub here at the Birmingham Wholesale Market, where they're taking surplus food and redistributing that to community organisations working with individuals experiencing food insecurity. The Mandala Consortium have chosen this project to research as part of their wider exploration of food system change here in Birmingham. Manny, can you tell us how the surplus food hub works?
I work here at the Birmingham Wholesale Market. There's 50 odd vendors at the market, and they often will have food that they can't shift in time, and so my job is to save as much food from becoming waste at the market and redistribute it to the Food Justice Network, which is a network of 300 organisations, a lot of community cafes, churches, gurdwaras. What are some of the challenges for you in your role here? The job is like a lot of diplomacy in terms of making good relationships with the various vendors. There's a lot of composting to do in terms of like the food that we once we've sorted pallet satsumas, maybe 20% need to be composted, and so that involves having like networks of allotments and community gardens around the city. And there's also just always the issue of we get food and we need to communicate that to all of the organisations, but the organisations aren't all open on the same day. They maybe have volunteers, maybe they don't have volunteers, maybe they have transport, maybe they don't. And so there's like a lot of moving parts, and every day is different.
Yeah. Alexia, how has Mandala worked with the Active Wellbeing Society to identify this project for evaluation?
So we first started working with the Active Wellbeing Society when they took part in our systems mapping workshop. During that workshop, we identified that a key challenge was around increasing availability of fresh fruit and vegetables in community organisations, but also a key challenge for those community organisations in sourcing those fresh produce. So we identified something that we thought would be the scope for a good project or intervention that would address some of Mandala's objectives around environment, nutrition, and also equity. The Active Wellbeing Society had been funded by Public Health in Birmingham City Council to conduct a scoping exercise around surplus food in Birmingham, so sources and potential recipients of surplus food. So we were really pleased to join conversations around developing this idea and designing this idea, and then following on from that, sharing some of our ideas for evaluating a project like that.
Paul, how are you going about collecting data for this project?
We expect to use multiple methods to collect data. Currently, we are observing different activities and interactions going on in the food hub. So sometimes I work with Manny, the hub coordinator, to sort food, pick up food, collect food, bring it to the hub. And then I observe when the interaction, when the community organization come to collect food. Previously, we've done interview with the stakeholders, and we also have a future interview that we want to do with the stakeholders that are involved, the trader, the management, the charity organization. Also, we are also collecting routine data. This we record the weight of the food, the types of the food, and then the country of origin where those foods are coming from. We also see the proportion that are edible, and the proportion that are not edible that goes for compost. So these are various data we are collecting in the hub to evaluate the food hub.
And how are Mandala going about evaluating this data?
So the data that Paul's described will be supplemented with some routine data that are collected by the Active Wellbeing Society, and together we'll use those data to inform a comprehensive case study of this surplus food redistribution hub model. We'll take, as Paul mentioned, a mixed methods approach, and we'll really delve into what some of the potential effects of the hub are in terms of food recovery, so environmental benefits of that. We'll also hope to estimate some of the nutritional benefits of the hub by redirecting this food to the community. We'll think about costs and how they're distributed across the different stakeholders involved in the hub. But because we're taking a systems perspective, we're also really interested in understanding how and why the hub is effective or where it could be improved. So looking at the mechanisms that might allow the hub to achieve the effects that we might observe.
So Vicky, initially the hub was just redistributing surplus. Since you've added the kitchen, how has that changed what you're able to achieve?
Oh, it means we can extend the life of a lot more food. A lot of the food that we collect ideally needs processing or cooking within a day or two of us getting it. It's certainly food that you would cook with at home. You certainly wouldn't throw it away. And having our own kitchen means we can control it and be able to process it immediately rather than hunting around for kitchens in the city.
And I understand you're hoping to take on a facility at the wholesale market itself.
Oh, it's so exciting. Yes, we've been funded by Public Health to turn one of their units at the wholesale market into a kitchen, but we want it to work on many levels. So it'll be a kitchen to process surplus produce. It'll serve as a cafe for the traders. We'll be able to run educational workshops at the markets as well, because you've got the world's pantry on your doorstep. So we're really excited about that, and I think the traders will see where the food's going, and I think that will encourage them to waste less.
What are you hoping the impact of this work is going to be?
It's obviously an environmental project, so it's to reduce waste, but to feed more people, and also it's part of strengthening the network of surplus food providers in the city. But we have to make it efficient and simple for businesses, because I know everyone's doubling down on their waste, but there will always be waste in the food system. By us working together, we can hopefully draw more surplus out of the system.
From this work, the Mandala researchers aim to create a case study, identifying the potential impact of this hub, adding valuable evidence to support the growth and replication of hubs like these across Birmingham and beyond, ultimately resulting in positive change for individuals, communities, and the environment.